Hi, honey. This is the book that Nana has right now to read to you. I don't have any storybooks here with me, but I'll keep looking for more. But this is the most important book of all. It's a Bible. That's the book that was written about God. And this one is called My First Study Bible. I think Nana might have ordered this one for you, but I can't remember. So the Bible is really made up of a bunch of smaller books inside, and all of those books have names. And today we are going to learn about the first 5 books of the Bible, which a person named Moses wrote about. And after I get through reading the story, I'll go back to some little parts, you'll see what I mean, and tell you more about the story. So first of all, before we start the first story, this is Moses. And he says, I am Moses. God helped me write the first 5 books in the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Those are big names, huh? Some people call these books the Pentateuch. Others call them the Book of Moses or the Books of the Law. I wrote these books so people would know what happens when we obey God and what happens when we do not obey Him. And Elliot, you knew that obey means to do what somebody tells you, right? And disobey means you did not do what somebody asked you to do. Genesis, the book of beginnings. I am Moses. Genesis is the first book I wrote. I wanted everyone to know how the world began. I also wanted everyone to know about the people who lived a long time ago. We can learn a lot from them. God gave us a beautiful home. I'm Adam, the first person God made. After God made me, He let me live in a very beautiful garden. Everywhere I looked, I saw trees, plants, and water. When I wanted something to eat, I just took some fruit from one of the trees. The garden was full of animals and birds. God even let me name them all. As much as I liked the garden and animals, God knew that I needed someone like me. He made a wife for me, and her name was Eve. God told us we could eat anything in the garden except the fruit from one special tree. If you eat from that tree, you won't live forever. Eve and I didn't want to die. Because when God first made us, Elliot, nobody was ever going to die. We were going to live forever. But we weren't supposed to eat from that tree because God said if we ate from that tree, then we wouldn't live forever. But guess what happened? One day, a cunning serpent started talking to Eve. Did God tell you not to eat from these trees? We can eat anything we want, Eve explained, but we can't eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, or we will die. You won't die, the serpent assured her. You will be like God. Eve believed him. She took a bite of fruit, and I did too. So her and Adam both ate fruit from that tree they weren't supposed to. That terrible, terrible serpent, which is a snake, was tricking them. Then we heard God walking through the garden. We ran away to hide. Where are you? God called. Eve and I knew we should say something. We didn't want to be in more trouble than we were already in. I heard you coming, I told God, trying to think fast. So I hid because I'm naked. Did you eat from the tree? God asked me. He knew. We couldn't hide what we did any longer. I blamed my wife. Eve gave me the fruit to eat. Why did you do that? God asked Eve. The serpent lied to me, Eve told God. God made us leave the beautiful garden, and he punished the serpent too. We had disobeyed God. Now, the serpent is really Satan. Satan is the devil, but he made himself look like a snake to talk to Eve. So their life changed. They didn't get to stay in that beautiful garden anymore. I'm going to go back to this little message down here. Remember when we did these on the flannel board that we have at Aunt Marty's house, talking about when God made the world in 6 days and he rested on the seventh day. On the first day, God made light. On the second day, God made heaven. The third day, God made the earth, seas, trees, and plants. On day 4, God made the sun, the moon, and the stars. On day 5, God made the birds and fish. On day 6, God made the animals and Adam. He also made Eve, the first woman. So remember Adam and Eve. They're the first people ever in the world. And here's a little message right here I'm going to read to you. It says, "The tree from which they could not eat was called the tree of knowledge of good and evil. God told Adam and Eve that they would die if they ate from that tree." The serpent was really Satan. He was trying to make Adam and Eve disobey God, and he still tries to make people disobey God. Satan never quits. Remember, Satan is the devil, and he wants us to be bad. He doesn't want us to love God. God means what he says. God told Adam and Eve they could eat anything they wanted except one thing. But Adam and Eve thought God didn't really mean what he said, so they ate the forbidden fruit. But God punished Adam and Eve because they did not obey him. Okay, that's our first story from the Bible. When Nana talks to you, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about it. I love you. Bye, honey.